Welcome to episode 11 of Sweeper and the Keeper with your host. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Matt. Quick shout out to European Sports. Visit them at any of their 3 locations or shop online at europeansports.com. Hopefully you enjoyed part one of that interview. Part two interview is coming up right now. Please stay tuned.
I honestly, deep down, you guys can. The way you guys fought this year in the playoffs, that it was a thriller. It was to the bone, like to the T. Like it was just
Like
so
literally
good.
to the last minute, man. It was
Yeah,
insane.
you guys did everything you could, and just it was just so unfortunate, and it was heartbreaking. You guys honestly deserve to go as far as possible, all the way to the end. And honestly, deep down, I know you guys will.
Yeah,
Like you said,
I have
progress.
I feel really good about next year, and
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do some special things.
Yeah, I believe that like 110% fully all the way.
Are there any, obviously you know a little bit more being a player and part of the team, but are there any rumors or anyone that you're trying to bring in for Charlotte to help boost their team, or are you not really allowed to say anything?
Dude, I know as much as y'all know. They nobody tells me anything.
Oh,
So
man.
Nice
so when
try
you
though.
yeah, if y'all hear something, let me know.
Will do, man. I'm following all the different feeds and stuff and the supporter page, and it's like rumor after rumor on all this stuff, and like, you don't really believe it until you see it actually
Right,
come out on an
right.
official website. So
What, did you see a rumor or something?
no, I'm just like
Okay,
talking in general.
Just like in general, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
It's like there's all this news about other players coming in this year and stuff. So it's like, I don't believe any of it until it actually happens. Like
Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
That's fair.
it's kind of what we thought with Schweinsteiger when he was coming in, because he saw like a rumor, sent it to me, and I'm like, I don't know, man. And then we saw it official, and I was like, oh, damn, okay. And then and we made sure to go to that first game that he played.
Yeah.
You know, scored a goal, I believe, right?
Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
we tied it. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
sitting on the
We were
Who
behind
was it
the
yeah,
against?
we
Was
were
it against
visiting.
Montreal?
Yeah,
yeah, it was.
Okay,
behind
yeah,
their
that's right.
bench, right behind
Yeah.
the bench.
Yeah, we were sitting right behind the Montreal bench because we bought tickets last minute, and then at the end of the game when we tied it up, I mean, this guy was smashing his scarf on the bench, and I'm like, bro, stop, we're gonna get us kicked
Hey,
out.
security loved it. They loved it, so
Yeah, they did.
I got away scot-free on that one.
But were you able to play any games at Soldier Field, or were you primarily at Toyota Park for the Fire?
My last year was 2020, so I played a couple games at Soldier Field, but not a whole lot.
Do you
Um,
did you like playing there, like in Chicago, more than Toyota Park, or I mean SeatGeek Stadium is it now or whatever? But
I liked the location playing there because I lived in South Loop for 2 years. I mainly lived in the city. I was like in South Loop and Old Town. Um,
Okay.
but so like, South Loop, I'm literally right there, so it's easy to drive to for games or whatever. Where like you got to trek out to Ridgeview and Harlem Road, But especially like during the week, if there's like a midweek game, that some of that traffic gets crazy.
yeah,
Um, so I liked the location of Soldier Field better, but I think the surface at SeatGeek was a little better. Although, this year it seemed like the surface at Soldier Field. I don't know if they had resodded it or put new grass down. This year it was good. But back in like 2020 and even like 22, like the grass wasn't great there. And then you got like the football team that plays on there as well. So they
yeah,
kind of
like
like
completely
rip it
tear it
up,
up.
right? And then you got the wind. It's
Mhm.
like it ain't. It's not. Sometimes it can be like a really tough place to play at.
Yeah, we've been to numerous games there and stuff. I mean, I personally, I think I like going. I liked watching games at Toyota Park better, just because I felt like we were closer.
Yeah,
It's kind
yeah,
of
I could see
easier.
like better fan experience.
But I mean, Soldier Field is just iconic. Going downtown,
Right.
going there, it's just traffic. Either way, you're living in Chicago. There's gonna be traffic
Yeah.
anywhere. So I mean, it's you got to take it as it is. But um, so how's traffic in Charlotte? I haven't been over there in a while. Like, is it easy to get to those games and stuff, or?
Everything you can get to like pretty much anywhere in Charlotte in like 15 minutes. So
Oh,
it's like obviously, it's a much smaller city than
mhm.
Chicago, but much easier to get around. But don't get me wrong, like there's definitely traffic.
Yeah.
Like you go down like 77 at the wrong time, you'd be sitting there for at least like 30 minutes.
And it's gotta be nice living back, close to the beaches and stuff and being able to go to the beach more often. I mean, I
Oh yeah,
love that
like
when I was living in
whenever we
North
get a couple
Carolina.
days off, um, like it's just nice being like my cousin got married in Asheville 2 weeks ago, so that was like a 2 hour drive for us up there, super easy commute. And then on the other hand, like if we get like 3 or 4 days off in the summer, um, my wife and I went to Oak Island, which is a beach off of North Carolina's coast, and it's like a 3.5 hour drive there. So it's definitely nice just to kind of not be, I guess, landlocked in a sense, and be able to get places where you can drive there, relatively quickly.
Yeah, like I said, I lived there 4 years, like 3.5 years. I loved it. I mean,
Right. Yeah. So
I was right
you
in
know you kind
Jacksonville
of know
on the
how it
coast
is.
and stuff, but it's just everyone says it's boring and there's nothing to do, but like, there's beaches all over the place. There's Charlotte, we went up there a lot, there's Raleigh, there's Asheville. We had some friends that lived over there. So I mean, I love living in North Carolina. It was a great town. People are so friendly. It's insane how
Yeah.
friendly they
Yeah, they are. It's like
are.
that Southern hospitality.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I still think the best um, biscuits and gravy I've ever had was at the airport at Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Really.
Just the little old lady cooking in the airport.
Okay.
I'm like, let me get, breakfast biscuits and gravy, and she cooked them, and they were absolutely amazing.
That's
You don't
incredible.
you don't get
That's
anything
awesome.
like that up here. So,
That's hilarious.
um, so how has your brand or have you thought about doing anything to help with the hurricane victims and displacement that kind of went through the whole west side of North Carolina?
Yeah, we've like spread some awareness about it, and like the club has done a really great job. Um, in general, like the Charlotte FC and the Panthers have done a really great job to get resources up there, and we've helped out in Charlotte when we can and donated some stuff. So, but I mean, everybody around them has done an awesome job with like giving stuff that they don't need or helping in a way that they could, or even like going up there to help clean up, or you know like the whole state. Everybody's really surrounded them and got behind them.
That's good to see because, like, I remember I would drive those highways that are now shut down, and it's like crazy to see how that could happen all the way up here. But to see everyone rally around them and see the
Yeah,
sports teams and everyone, and it shows you how close like the Southern community is, and
right.
that they take care of their own and they care for each other and stuff. So,
Yeah, it's really, it's devastating what happened, but great to see how everybody kind of supported them in any way they could.
Definitely.
um, do you have any just overall thoughts on how MLS is doing kind of in the world with how they're kind of boosting their credibility as a good league? Or
I mean, I think, when people ask me this question, and y'all probably know, you look back to how it was in 2017 or like my rookie year. And I think like the quality of the league, quality of the teams, the players that were in here. And then you look at it today, and I mean, I think it's like night and day difference about, how good the teams are, how good the players are, the coaching, the facilities. Like, I mean, everything has just gotten like revamped in such like a, I guess, relatively short period of time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I definitely think the league's going in the right direction. You kind of riding this World Cup wave, where everybody's, I guess, soccer brand is going to get boosted as well. Um, I mean, yeah, like I think the league's doing a great job. More and more people are supporting it. Um, and I mean, I just feel like you look around in Charlotte, there's Charlotte FC everywhere, and it's like you rarely don't like run into a person who doesn't know who Charlotte FC is. So that's always nice to see as well.
Do you support a like a Premier League sort of shenanigans where
Oh,
the
like
other teams
promotion and
below,
relegation.
yeah, promotion?
Um, I mean, you got to do like whatever makes sense. This is like, I guess not, I don't know like all the details that go behind it.
Yeah.
Obviously the owners are making big investments, and they don't want to like lose out on that investment. And if one of their teams gets relegated and relegated again, that's going to be tough to justify, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like they buy a franchise and they see it grow year to year because the league's growing year to year. Um, that just like kind of makes more sense with kind of how I guess like American sports work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't really know how they're going to like begin to incorporate promotion relegation. Um, but it'll be interesting. I feel like the main focus is just to get the growth of the league to a point where it's top five in the world, and then you can start talking about I guess options like that.
Yeah. That's fair. It's a fair point.
Yeah, so good answer, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say
Either
because
people
it's
are
all over the place, and
like,
that's a big argument online. It's
but
Oh, I
like you
can
said,
imagine.
it's a money, it's American sport, it's money making.
Yeah,
And like you said, they buy this team and this thing, and like they get relegated, then all that money is gone. And like a lot of people here with investments, if it's not doing well, they dump it and run. So you don't want to get forgotten about. But I'm kind of glad the way it is now. Just being able to support these teams, even though they're going through bad years, that they could have a couple of years, turn it around, and they could be right back to the top of the table.
yeah. That's
So
the great thing about the league is like anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Like it's not like you have a well, I'll say Liverpool. It's not like you got like Liverpool. I would say Man City, but they're going through a rough patch right now.
yeah.
Um,
Yikes.
but it's not like you have a Liverpool where like oh they're playing Southampton like they're for sure they're gonna crush them. It's like somebody plays somebody in MLS and you don't really ever know who's gonna win for sure. And I think that's what makes the league like really competitive.
yeah, I've lost a lot of money on
Oh gosh.
betting and like thinking the team is a guaranteed win turn out to be not the same. But I mean, regardless, it's fun anyway. And like you said, I mentioned earlier, I really like the Apple, the streaming service or whatever, just because I could be at work and I could have a game pulled up on the laptop. I could have a game pulled up on my phone, and I could be anywhere watching the
But it
stuff.
gives you
So
like a lot of access to like every single game, like whenever
yeah,
you want it, like right at your fingertips as well.
and just special interviews and then watching the highlights of games and stuff like that. It makes it so much easier to watch. Where all these leagues in Europe, you got to download 5 different streaming services to watch what you want, and then it's like the Champions League is on a different one, and then the tournaments and stuff. So I mean, it makes it easier, and I think it would work well with the fans. I mean, it's worked well with me
Yeah.
at least. So
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely like it. Um, Moving forward, do you have any big goals or anything that you really want to accomplish for next season?
Man, I want to win a trophy next season. That's what I want, whether it's Leagues Cup, Supporter Shield. If we're playing back in Open Cup, I still don't know like what's going to happen with that, or like MLS Cup. I want to win a trophy. That's my main goal next year.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, it would be. We'd have a super party at Frankie's.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we were doing. That's what we were doing for the playoffs. It was at Frankie's, and then we switched over to the Knicks. It was these super parties and just oh man.
yeah. Like I said, that was you guys were all out drinking, having fun. I'm sitting
Oh yes.
streaming the game on my phone when I'm supposed to be out working and stuff. But whatever. Oh man, it was. I mean, it was. How'd you feel about the winners of this year? Do you think they deserved it, or do you think you would have rather have seen someone else that's not Charlotte?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like Galaxy deserved it. They look good. Um, and then like the stuff they had with like Puig or he like tore his ACL. I was like, oh, they
Yeah.
might not win the finals now. Um, I don't know. I kind of felt like Galaxy. I was like, they're probably the favorites of like the teams that were left. So I was like, yeah, I feel like they're going to beat Red Bulls. But again, you never know with Red Bulls. They could come out and score 5 goals or get scored five against. So, um, but yeah, I kind of felt like Galaxy was going to win it.
It was nice. Marco Reus finally got his club trophy.
Yeah,
Spent 11 years over at Borussia Dortmund, and it took him 4 months with LA, and
yeah,
he finally got it done. But it's nice seeing names like him. You got the Messis,
yeah.
Marco, uh, these players coming over with the league, helping expand the league. I mean, he had Bastian Schweinsteiger help
Mhm.
mentor, the retirement league as people around the world like call of the MLS, unfortunately. But they don't see behind the scenes helping players like Brandt, mentoring, helping younger players become who they are in today's game. It's nice to see these names come across, even though they might be in their later stages. Who cares? They're here to help develop as well. It's not just, oh, they're just here for a paycheck. No, they're helping behind the scenes too. It's not just,
And improve the overall quality of the league. Like it's not that they're coming over
Absolutely.
here and like being terrible. Like they're coming over here and like helping teams win supporter shields or MLS Cups. Like it's not like there's like, okay, yeah, I'm just chill on the bench now. Like they're here to play and compete.
Maybe Thomas Mueller
Yeah, that's my guy.
for Charlotte, huh?
Oh, that would be amazing.
I mean, let's be real. I think he's done at Bayern. He might retire, but maybe he'll swing over here for a little bit, dip his toes in Charlotte or something.
Uh, what what team would you say that you support, like in Europe or one of the other leagues?
Outside of
What are
Charlotte.
outside of
Absolutely,
Charlotte, like
yeah.
what's one of your biggest teams that you've always supported and like to see?
So I grew up, I loved Frank Lampard. Like Frank Lampard was my favorite player of all time. So I like grew up a Chelsea supporter. So my whole life just supported Chelsea.
Little Chelsea, what they did to Bayern Munich in the final.
I remember that, like
On
2012.
on Bayern soil too.
That was wild because there was like Chelsea had a bunch of injuries too. Like I was
Yeah.
like, dude, there's no way Chelsea's gonna win this game, and
Oh man.
comes down to pens, you know.
No.
But Bayern won their thing next year, so it didn't matter. They beat Dortmund, right?
Yeah, they did.
Was that the
Yeah,
following
I
year?
think it was
The
Dortmund,
German
yeah.
I thought
final.
so.
Incredible. That
I was
was
hoping for another German final last year, but
yeah, we won't talk about that.
that was some heated comments
Yeah.
with the refereeing over there, but we're not gonna get into that right now.
No, it's
And poor Harry Kane goes to Bayern Munich and he still can't win a trophy.
okay.
Uh,
Leave the man
He'll get
alone.
one eventually.
well, do you have any just final thoughts to kind of wrap things up? I think we're kind of running out of time here, so
No, just appreciate you guys having me on. It's a pleasure to meet you, and hopefully I'll see you guys down in Charlotte next year for a game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully making that finally possible. I know it's been in the talks for a couple of years with other people as well. So it's definitely gonna be a big thing for Chicago folks to come on out.
and the drive's honestly not that bad. I did it numerous times by myself.
And I like driving, so I'm down. I'm totally down for the drive.
But once again, man, on behalf of Sweeper and the Keeper podcast, thank you for coming on and giving us your time. Thanks for answering the questions, just kind of hanging out with us for the last 30-ish minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
All right,
You have a great
All
one.
right.
thank you.
Yeah, have a good one. See y'all.